guys, welcome back to my channel. I have some exciting news. I have officially been crowned the new Princess of America Junior Miss Texas 2017, and I am so excited for my reign this year. And if you would like to follow me, definitely check out my social media. It'll be listed below, and I also have a Facebook page if you want to follow all the events that I am attending and just, follow me throughout my year. And I just think that it's going to be a very life-changing one, and I really think that, it's going to be really cool to represent Texas at Nationals. So I'm just so thankful for this system, and I can't wait to see where I go with it. And yeah, that's exciting. So today for this video, I want to give you some interview tips and how to get a job as a teenager. It could apply to adults, but I really want to focusing on a teenager since I'm a teenager. It works. I have recently, started applying for jobs. Like, I started last year whenever I turned 16. I was like, okay, I need a job. Okay, so I went through a whole long year of, not being able to find a job. Then this year I thankfully was blessed with a job, and I didn't really, interview for it, but regardless, I recently just interviewed for this other job, and I'm so excited, and I was really confident, and my answers were great, and I just want to kind of go over the questions that they might ask you and just, all the basics. So I would not know how to interview without my start in pageantry. I would have no clue. I would not know how to talk to a person, and so I'm just going to run you through everything that I've learned and how you can ace your interview and make a really great impression. So the first thing is, no matter what, no matter when, no matter where, never be on your phone in an interview, in the building, in the vicinity. Never be on your phone, because that makes a very bad impression. No matter if the guy's interviewing in the back, in the front, no matter where, never be on your phone. That is disrespectful, and it doesn't really show that you're really interested or want to be professional type. Does that make sense? Okay, and then the next tip that I have is, okay, so for this last job that I interviewed for, that I'm waiting to hear back about, I went through the phone interview, which went really great, and then I got a follow-up email that said, congratulations on advancing to the group interview. Can you be at the place at this time? So I went on to the group interview, and the group interview is just, seeing how you interact with other people and how, you're approaching it. Because, it is really scary, because you're like, oh, hi, I don't know these people, and I'm going to have to talk about myself, because you kind of feel like you're bragging. But it's okay, because, you're not bragging on yourself, but, you want to make a good impression and say, hey, this is what I've accomplished. So I went into the group interview, and when I walked in there, it was kind of awkward because everyone was staring at me like, what is she doing here? But it was fine. I was just like, we're all here for the same thing. And I went and sat down, and I noticed all the girls were on their phone. Okay, interesting. And I always was taught not to be on your phone. So that's just an observation. Don't be on your phone. And I've already made that point clear. But then the next thing you should know is, when you go back for your group interview, or in an interview in general, if it's one-on-one, group, whatever, always sit with your feet, your ankles crossed, slanted, like toward the core. Like, if you're sitting like this, you can do it left or right, but like naturally for me it's left, because I'm right-handed. But just casually, and put your hands in your lap. You don't need them going all over the place. And sit up tall and confident, because that is very important, that you show that you have confidence and you can talk to people, because that's what a job requires, is you talking to people, you communicating, making sure that you're gonna, do everything you can to make the experience great for the guests. So the next thing comes questions. The questions that I got asked, it was all a blur because I was so focused on just, I need to make a good impression, just whatever. I got asked, I think the first question he basically started off with, what was your greatest accomplishment? And I started with, being crowned the new Miss Texas. Like, that was a huge accomplishment for me, because, from where I used to be to now, just the fact that I'm a title holder and what I'm doing is so beyond me. Like, it's just so amazing, and, that's a really great accomplishment for me. But then also things you could say, like, because not everyone, has a title. You could say, your greatest accomplishment was, like, one girl said that she was on the A and B honor roll for 2 years. That's impressive. So just say things that, you know, like no matter what, even if it sounds stupid, because what I learned in pageants is that in the interview, the people just want to know like who you are. Like they don't really care what you say. Like to an extent, yeah, they do, but you can say it however, but as long as you're just, you could ramble, you know, and it's fine. Just, you know, be confident. I'm itching my nose and I'm sorry, okay. I just gotta be real, okay. The next thing, I went to just, interview went fine, like the group interview was great. Oh, also, make a resume no matter what. Even if you have nothing really to talk about, make a resume. Make sure you proofread everything. It just looks good if you're a teenager and you have a resume. Like, it just looks good because it looks like you're like serious about making good impressions and you're serious about getting this job, because it is hard getting a job, let me just tell you. Like, you're going to go through so many interviews and you're going to be like, why? And then sometimes you'll get the job right there. But, anyways, so then a few days later, I advanced to the last interview, which was hard to get, was the last one, but it was one-on-one. And he just kind of asked me, you know, how do I, you know, communicate, and how do I work with other people, and if I had a group project, when would I get it done, type of thing. And, you know, I just answered really honestly, you know, and, you know, it was just one of those things where you have to be honest. You have to say things that you know are true, obviously, but, you know, just go in there with full confidence and answer the questions the best that you know how to. I know I'm not really giving you specific answers, but another thing is, at the end he was like, so, okay, it's your turn. You ask me questions. So I was kind of hesitant because I only had really one prepared. Never say no. If they ask you, hey, do you have any questions? Never say no. So I casually was like, what's the uniform like? Like, I already knew what the uniform was like, but I was just like, what's the uniform like? And I was trying to remember the question because I totally forgot it. And then I casually, you know, asked a few more questions and I remembered it. And I asked, is there anything that would prevent us from working together in the future? And just his response was really great, and it was, you know, it just made me feel great. And whenever the interview got done, he was like, you know, you're really promising, you know, you're a confident young girl, and, you know, that's what this place is looking for. And I don't know, it just, overall, it made me really happy. It's one of those things where, you know, I'm proud of how I left that interview. And, you know, if he doesn't hire me, you know, that's totally okay, because I'm just going to go find another job. Like, I know that sounds totally, like, easy, but it's not. Like, but, you know, I'm working hard, you know, and that's just what you have to do in life. You just have to keep going no matter what. And, you know, I felt like I really did great in the interview, and, you know, that's what you kind of have to, you know, you just have to believe that, you know, you're good enough and, you know, you're really fit for this job. And no, actually the first question he asked me on the one-on-one interview was why I was the best candidate. And, you know, at first, you know, because throughout pageants I've had to answer, you know, why am I the best person to have the title as opposed to everyone else. And, you know, it's kind of a hard question, you know, like, what makes me better than someone? And, you know, that kind of sounds arrogant, but it's not. You're just saying, you know, what you really want to use this title for, and it's kind of like for the job, like why you really want to be there is to help, you know, help make sure the guests are having the best experience possible and making them happy, etc. So that's all for this video. I know I kind of dragged it out a long time, but I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you have any more questions or video ideas, leave them below, and I'm definitely going to update y'all whenever I go to nationals, because I'm so excited for that. And I'm definitely vlogging the whole trip, because that's like an experience you don't get every day, and I'm just really excited. So I'll talk to you guys in my next video.